What's going on, everyone? Hello, and welcome to this Let's Look at my top or full collection of movies from the 1980s. We're into the 80s now. What better decade is there, or was there, or will there ever be an 80s again? I don't think so. It was a pretty unique time. I wasn't even born, but let me tell you, some of the best films, music, media in general was produced in the 80s. A lot of which is, you guessed it, gonna be my favorites. And here they are. So let's take a look down memory lane and see what we can find. Here we go. Starting off right here, August 1st, 1980 itself, starting off with a good one. This is The Final Countdown. Now, how would I describe that film? We're starting off on a really high note here. The Final Countdown is a time-traveling aircraft carrier. Well, it's not a time-traveling aircraft. It's not like the DeLorean. You don't push a button and say, let's go back in time. It gets caught in a storm. This modern-day aircraft carrier gets caught in a storm, but not any normal storm. This froze them back 40 years into World War II, where the US had just declared war on the Japanese. Actually, it was before they declared war. It was before Pearl Harbor. Right before Pearl Harbor. So they're like outclass all the tech off the time. They've got radar, they've got jet fighters. They've got it all. Nothing can really compare to the modern day technology. But they're faced with the ethical dilemma of, do we get involved in World War II? Do we try to stop Pearl Harbor from happening or not? Is it our place to do so? Kind of like the Prime Directive in Star Trek. You're not really supposed to mess with cultures that are more primitive than you. They're still developing. But obviously, this isn't Star Trek. This is The Final Countdown, and they're just a U.S. warship. And they also want to get home. You know, they don't want to stay living in the past. So it's a really interesting adventure. It's actually based on a book, and if you can source the book, try to, because that'll be guaranteed a good read. Alright, moving on. Another great film up next is Airplane. Airplane. Now, what can we say about this? This is one of the original spoof movies that kicked off spoof movies in general. After this, you had things like Naked Gun, you had Hot Shots, you had all the other spoof movies pop up, but Airplane, at least in my book, kicked it all off. And you've got Leslie Nielsen, and he's playing it straight. Leslie Nielsen, he's such a good actor, man. He really is. He's not really a comedy actor when you think about it, because he just plays it straight, but that's what's so great about it. And what else, man? Like, the skits are just amazing. The jive talk, the autopilot. I don't want to give away too much. If you've not seen Airplane, you gotta see Airplane, especially if you're about to go somewhere, take a flight or something like that. Get yourself in the mood for it. It's actually a spoof off disaster airplane movies in general. I think the movie they're spoofing is called Airport, and that was a movie in the 70s. So that's a funny take on that. Next up, Alligator. This is one that I kind of... all these animal attack movies equate to Jaws. They all are trying to jump on the success of Jaws as a franchise. But Alligator, you guessed it, it's about an alligator. They actually have built a really cool prop for this movie. It's a big mechanical alligator, and the size of it is actually like big as a car. So, you know, if you're into things like that, I certainly am. do watch Alligator. Previously, I talked about Alligator 2, the sequel. And if you're gonna watch that, then why not watch them in order? Up next, Kurt Russell in Escape from New York, a John Carpenter classic. Now, this is definitely one of my favorite films. Not only mine, but also Hideo Kojima. The character of Snake is based on, or mostly based on, the character from this film, Snake. He's got an eye patch. His name's Snake. It's the same guy. Yeah, man. Like, this movie was incredibly influential. Kurt Russell is doing his best, like, Clint Eastwood, gravelly voice, Dirty Harry impression, and it works. It just works. He's gruff. It's gritty. It's set in dystopia. The entirety of New York is a prison, because there was just too much crime in New York. You couldn't contain it, so they contained the entire island. How about that for a twist? And then the president's plane crashes. They send in Snake. Snake's a convicted felon. He's just gonna be put in there anyway. And they're like, we can use this guy. He used to be in the military. Let's send him to go rescue the president. And so he's doing it begrudgingly for a freedom pass, for his, like, rights, his, like, crimes are gonna be waived. He's gonna be a free man again after he completes this mission. But if he doesn't complete it, they injected him with poison. There's a ticking clock element. If he doesn't do it, he's a dead man. Wow. Sounds interesting? I hope so. Escape from New York, an all-time classic, one of the best action films on Earth. Moving on, Stripes. Here you go. You can't get much better than that. That's a comedy film. I haven't seen this in too long, but obviously, you know, it's got Bill Murray here. I'll take a little look. See, I know I got too many tabs open. Yeah, I need to see this actually, because I hadn't seen this TV trailer. Oh, it's this one. I have seen this. I remember it now. John Candy's in here too. I remember the wrestling scene with John Candy. Excellent, excellent film. I'm gonna have to watch that myself again and crack open the beer, because that's what you need when you watch these kind of comedy movies. They're just awesome. Alright, moving on. Race for the Yankees Zephyr. So the Yankee Zephyr is like a sunken treasure. It's a sunken treasure, and if you like helicopters, you're gonna like this film, because it's all about this like helicopter tour guide. He gets caught up in the search for the Yankee Zephyr. He's not the only one after it, hence why it's a race. You have beautiful scenery, beautiful location off New Zealand. A really amazing thing to sit back and just admire. And it's an adventure film. It kind of reminds me of like an Indiana Jones, or yeah, it's something like action adventure orientated. I definitely like the helicopters and this helicopter chase. They get in the water. There's a cool few vehicles in this film. Next up, Pandemonium. Pandemonium sounds really cool. I've not actually seen that film, so I can't talk too terribly much about it. But it looks like a slasher. Slashers were very big in the 80s. What's next? Conan the Barbarian. Yeah, Conan. This is Arnold, one of Arnold's first speaking roles, I believe, in cinema. What is best in life, Conan? The women driven before you, and the lamentation of the women, or something like that. It's a famous line, I got it wrong. But Conan the Barbarian, very classic film, based on the novels by Robert E. Howard, fantasy novels. Conan was always this very brutal character, and there's a lot of different interpretations of Conan the Barbarian. But yeah, definitely Arnold is definitely one of the more famous ones. In fact, probably the most famous one. Up next, Firefox. Firefox, this is the film where, yeah, there's a new jet and it's defecting. It's defecting to the US. Is that right? That might not be right. It's been a while since I've seen this as well. Firefox. Did that have, I don't have to see who was in this. Was it Clint Eastwood? It was directed by Clint Eastwood. And starring Clint Eastwood, of course. There he is here. Okay, Firefox, jet fighter film. Jet fighter movie. So if you're into Top Gun, this will be one to look out for. I think it had the Su-15 airplane, Sukhoi 15, which is one of my favorite Soviet jets. Look at that. Yeah, got him. Alright, that's gonna be a fun thing to watch. Next up, The Thing, here in June of 1982. Another John Carpenter classic. Again, starring Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell and John Carpenter are just like this, you know, they're like two peas in a pod. They go well together. They really do. The Thing is, technically it's a remake of a black and white film. It's like The Thing from Planet X or something like that. It was a remake of a B movie. But this, The Thing, has some of the greatest special effects of all time. If you're a fan of aliens, because our ancient alien theorists say yes, you are, then you're gonna like The Thing, because it is essentially, it's a mystery, but it's also in the vein of Alien, or there's a creature from space creature, but it shapeshifts, it possesses people. Essentially, it's like, it's got a lot of body horror in there, if you know what I mean by that. Then yeah, definitely, if you're not seeing The Thing, well, I don't know how you couldn't see it, man. It's The Thing. It's The Thing. Go watch The Thing. Never gets old. Speaking about things that never get old, here's Rambo: First Blood. Actually, just First Blood. It wasn't called Rambo at all, not until the second film. So that gets a little confusing the way they title things. Anyway, this is actually based on a book as well. Not sure if many of you knew that, but yeah, the Rambo series, the character of John Rambo, is based on a paperback book. And Sylvester Stallone portrays him really, really well. He's like a tortured Vietnam vet. He's come back from Vietnam. It's the 80s now. Listen, it's been a while since the Vietnam War, although not too long. And he's out of work. He's like drifting through towns. And he gets hassled by cops. He gets pushed around. He gets mistreated by society. The same society, the same America that he fought to defend during the Vietnam War. And he's just like, the man is exasperated. He's had enough. And so he starts to fight back using the skills he learned out there in the war when he was Special Forces. Now, they've not just got a maniac on the loose, but he's more like, not a maniac, he's more like PTSD, but to the cops he's a maniac. And he starts picking them off one by one using all of this military know-how. He actually tries really hard to not kill anyone in this film. Yeah, that changes later in the sequels, but we're not talking about those yet. And the best one, it's gotta be the first one. It's gotta be the first one. John Rambo. Next up, 48 Hours. I talked a little bit about the sequel to this in a previous video, but this is the first one. This is Eddie Murphy before Beverly Hills Cop, and he's like, it's like a buddy cop, but like you see they're cuffed together there because the detective is dragging along Eddie Murphy, who's like, it's gonna be his eyes and ears. And it's a fun action movie. It's a cops and robbers, kind of like a Dirty Harry movie, but buddy cop. Except they're not buddies at all. They're at odds. They're punching each other in the face half the movie. Do watch 48 Hours. Next up, Airplane 2, the sequel. It's more Airplane. If you like the first movie, they made another one. Aren't we lucky? Yes, we are. We can watch more Airplane. Next up, Honky Tonk Man. I don't think I've actually seen that, but it is in my list, so I must see it at some point. Blue Thunder. Oh, yeah, this is a similar thing, so I've not seen this either, but I do want to watch it. I know what it is about. The chopper named Blue Thunder. Gonna have to check that one out myself. Next up, 1983, The Twilight Zone, the movie. Well, if you can't tell, I am a big fan of The Twilight Zone, the TV series, the original one with Rod Sterling, and that's why my channel name is The Primeval Zone on YouTube. So we'll play on The Twilight Zone. I'm sure everybody already knew that. But anyway, this movie version of The Twilight Zone, they brought The Twilight Zone back in the 80s, and the movie version tells some of the more famous, popular episodes of the old TV show from the 60s. They retell it in full color with new actors, with new effects. The Twilight Zone, the movie, gotta see it. Next up, Class. Okay, unfortunately, here's one I can't really talk about too much, but it looks like a cool, raunchy kind of movie, kind of like American Pie. I don't know. Yeah. I guess we'll have to check that out. Next up, National Lampoon's Vacation. Now, here's a classic comedy. Clark Griswold and his car and his family, they go on a road trip. It's a road trip movie. They're heading off for the vacation and everything goes pear-shaped. It's a calamity, just one thing after another, kind of like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. If you're a fan of that or similar type of comedies, watch National Lampoon's Vacation. Hell, Chevy Chase comes back as the same character quite a few times in the sequels. Speaking about classic comedies, The Police Academy. Rather, just Police Academy. What can I even say about Police Academy? If you haven't seen Police Academy, it is the story of a bunch of rookies who join up to be cops, but they're such a misfit bunch, and they have this hard-ass, dean, I want to say dean, but sergeant, whatever, officer in charge, and it is a lot just gag after gag, comedy, bit after bit, sketch after sketch, endlessly. Police Academy, crack a beer when you watch this one. Next up, The Bounty. Hey, Mel Gibson, it's our old friend, Mel Gibson. The Bounty is based on, I believe, a true story where there was a famous mutiny. The story is, at least the story in the film, this ship, sailing ship, British ship, heads off to the Caribbean, meets natives. They're very friendly. They all essentially start to party and have fun with them. And the captain of the ship loses control of his crew. Essentially, he's still trying to be a hard ass and be like, no, don't have too much fun. Come on, scrub the deck, you scallywags. And Mel Gibson is just like, I fell in love with this girl here. I'm staying here. Screw that. I don't want to go back. I don't even want to go back. So they have a mutiny. Some of them stay. Some of them end up leaving. Some of them end up washing up on another neighboring island, which is full of cannibals. Not a friendly tribe. None of the other tribes are friendly in this film. There's only one, and even they themselves are like, you did what? You did what? You did what? But we like King George. But, you know, because they're trying to be friendly with the British. So, yeah, it's a really good thing to watch, especially if you're into history and that time period of sailing ships, Pirates of the Caribbean. If you like that, you'll probably like this. A little bit more on the serious side, but in a good way. Moving on. Firestarter. I don't know what this is. Charlie has the ability to start fires with a glance. Oh, kind of like Carrie, except with fire. That would be a cool power to have, wouldn't it? Being able to start fires with a glance. Although you'd have to stop yourself. Like, if every little thing that pissed you off, you caught it on fire. Yeah, you'd probably have no friends. Anyway, moving on. Star Trek III, The Search for Spock. Here we go, a Trek movie. This is... I can't believe actually I didn't have Star Trek II on my list here. I gotta add that on, because that is one of my favorites. I'm gonna talk about that now, actually. Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. It's like a submarine hunt in space. And you have this Nietzschean guy, this like superhuman guy, Khan. And the dude is, well, he's a superhuman. He's like being injected with all kinds of genetics, and he goes up against Kirk, so they try to outwit each other. It's really like a battle of the wits, like a big game of chess. Now, Star Trek III, The Search for Spock. At the end of Star Trek II, Spock gets, like, what is he? Genesis? Was it Genesis? He gets ejected into planet Genesis. I'm going off my memory here, by the way. So in Star Trek III, they steal their Enterprise, because actually they get, like, demoted or something, and they're like, we gotta go get Spock. So they disobey orders, and they go looking for Spock, and I can't remember really what happens. I'm gonna have to see this again as a Star Trek fan. I'm happy to watch anything Star Trek. I do remember they have a Klingon bird of prey. Isn't this the film where they have the Klingon makeup first come into play? And there's a fight on a cliffside between Kirk and the Klingon, who's played by, it's on the tip of my tongue, the guy from Back to the Future, the professor, Doc Brown. Doc Brown versus Captain Kirk. If you want to see that, watch this. Next up, Gremlins. Dude wants a gift for his kid. He goes to some creepy Chinese store and he picks up this cute little animal, and the old guy's like, you better not feed it after midnight, you don't ever want to get it wet. He lays out all these rules, and the dude's like, well, yeah, whatever, how much? And so he takes this thing, it's adorable, it looks like a Furby, it's called Gizmo, and he gives it to his kid. Technically, it's a Christmas movie, it's set at Christmas anyway. It was like half dark comedy, dark horror, and freaking, I don't know what else, a Christmas movie, I guess. Anyways, they've got this creature, and of course, they break the rules. They've broken the rules, and what happens? Gizmo, this cute fluffy little thing, spawns a million, well, maybe not a million, but a lot of gremlins, which are these goblin, very small, goblin-y type creatures. which just start running amok, but they're having fun at the same time. They're like partying, they're smoking cigars, but they're dangerous. Like, it's not great. They're gonna mess up your place, and they're gonna probably mess up you too. So, there's the problem, because if those guys get wet, then they can each make 100 off themselves, or however many it is. So, this could cause like a global catastrophe. Better stop it before Christmas. Anyway, Gremlins, classic movie. Speaking about classic movies, of course, my 80s list is full of classic movies. It's The Terminator. The Terminator, the first one. James Cameron had some nightmare dream, which gave him the idea to make the Terminator film. Arnold's, without a doubt, in my opinion, best role, the Terminator. This is the famous movie where he says, "I'll be back." He's an unstoppable cyborg. I'm gonna pretend you don't know anything about the Terminator. The Terminator is an unstoppable cyborg cybernetic organism from the future, sent back into today, into 1984, which is today, and he's got one mission: to kill Sarah Connor, because her son, John Connor, not born yet, but he's going to be the one in the future who defeats the machines, defeats the Terminators. So, as a last-ditch effort, the computers sent back one of their robots who has skin, flesh, it bleeds, it looks like a man, it looks like Arnold, like a humongous man, but there it is, like you can't tell the difference. And it's trying to act human, it is very robotic. There's a lot of scenes where you can see from the Terminator's point of view, and you see this red vision with text, like how does he respond to different people saying things, like is he gonna say like "have a nice day," or is he gonna say "fuck you, asshole," and he picks whatever thing. Amazing film. I love the scene where he shoots up the police station. I also love the scene where Kyle is trying to hide from the cops early on, and he takes this homeless dude's clothes, and the dude is like, "He took my pants." It's just an excellent film. Really 80s, lots of great songs, big hair. I love it. I'm all about the Terminator. Next up, Return of Godzilla. Now, it says 2016, but that's not right, because to be in this list, this has to be Godzilla 1985. Yeah, I think it was 1985 in the US and 1984 in Japan. Here we go, 1984. Yeah, just to show you I'm not lying there. Yeah, so Godzilla's back. What can we say about Godzilla? It's the beginning of the Heisei series of Godzilla, because the older films were almost in the 60s and 70s. They kind of had a rest. Those films got kind of goofy. They did. They got a little silly. They dumbed it down a little bit. But when Godzilla came back, it was full on destruction. Let's go ahead and look at the trailer here. I do love this film. This might be behind the scenes how they made it. This is Ultraman. I don't think this is the right kind of trailer that we're looking for. There's a poster over here. Anyway, if you think Godzilla is badass, then this is definitely one to watch. He doesn't really fight another monster in that, but you don't always need him to fight another monster. This was, again, like it's his return. He came back. There's some cool posters. I know a different poster. Yeah, this one. This is the poster I like. 1985. The Legend is Reborn. This ship here is called the Super X. It's a high-tech flying machine with lasers and masers, and it's designed for one purpose: to take down Godzilla. Well, you're gonna have to see the film to know how that went. Hey, Xana, how are you doing? Back to my list. There we go. Alright, next up. Rambo First Blood Part 2. I mentioned this briefly, but essentially they send Rambo to Afghanistan, which at the time was under Soviet occupation. So now Rambo's in Afghanistan, and he's not trying to not kill anyone anymore. He's just like full on destruction mode. And of course there's that Hind helicopter. That's a great scene. Helicopter chase. Yeah, I don't know what to say else about that. He's a man, not a god, comrade. Come on, comrade. He's just a man, not a god. Little do they know, it's John Rambo and they're gonna get their ass beat. Moving on. 1985, July 8th. Max is back. Beyond Thunderdome. Actually, I need to add the original Mad Max into my list somewhere. Or maybe it is. Maybe, was that the 70s? It might have been early 70s or late 70s. Anyway, right here in the middle of the decade, 1985, you've got Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. This is the one with of course, it's the Thunderdome, which is like this cage, circular cage. It's got Master Blaster, this giant. I can't say it much better than that. He's a giant of a man, and he's controlled by this little dude who sits on his shoulder the whole time. This is also the one where he finds a village full of kids who grew up in the wasteland, and they don't know any better. They think Max is there to save them. Max isn't really there for that purpose, but they think he's like their prophet or chosen one. He's the oldest person that they've ever seen because they lived a really sheltered life in this crashed airplane, which they then tried to get going. Yeah, Mad Max. The Legend of Billie Jean. I don't know anything about this. All I know, Billie Jean, the song by Michael Jackson, it's probably got something to do with this film. Now, earlier I did mention National Lampoon Vacation, Chevy Chase. Like I mentioned, he's back. This time, they go to Europe. I remember his daughter gets hit on by like some French dude, and there's this whole thing of like, where did he take her? And they gotta go find her. But it's a very like vague memory. I haven't seen this in some time. Any Chevy Chase movie, crack a beer, you'll enjoy it. There we go, there's the proper title, Godzilla 1985. I've already talked about it. I don't need to talk about that again. Commando. Another one of Arnold's classics, Commando. This is the one where he's got like the multi-launch rocket launcher. Essentially, like, he's a commando, he's a special forces GI, I guess, and he's retired. He's like, I'm gonna live in this log cabin, I'm gonna live my life in peace. And then he gets called back, and he's like, I don't want any part of this, but I have to come back. It's got some great chase scenes. It's got like a red convertible where the door flies off the side of it. The explosions in this film are immense and spectacular. It's got a great soundtrack too. Those steel drums, steel drums. Vampire Hunter D. Oh hey, that's in the 90s. Why is that in the middle of this list? It's in the wrong place. I already talked about it in another video. If you want to hear about that one, go look at my 90s movies video. Next up, Highlander. There can only be one. There can only be one. One Highlander. There can only be one. It's the quest to be the ultimate warrior, these warriors are like legends who have lived for, I don't know, decades, and they each have their own power. When one is defeated in battle, their power goes into the victor. And so there's this one bad dude who is like, he's wanting to kill them all off, kind of like the Terminator. He's like, well, next one. He wants to have the ultimate power. He wants to be like fully the last one left. There can only be one. So he starts picking off these dudes, and then our hero here, the Highlander, is Scottish background. All of the warriors are like from different backgrounds. Like one of them's Japanese samurai. I can't remember the others, but yeah, and this badass dude has got to go up against the Highlander. And so far, he defeated everyone in his path, so he's got more power than the Highlander, technically. It's an epic battle at the end in the castle with lightning. Next up, Big Trouble in Little China. Kurt Russell is back again. Kurt Russell with the mullet. Super 80s look. He's a trucker, and he gets caught up in all of this kung fu action, supernatural, but it's Kurt Russell, so his attitude is just like, what? I'm gonna shoot you. What? Dude, what? And all of these Chinese gang, I want to say triad, but they're not triads, it's Japanese. Chinese gang, Chinese mafia, let's say, are very mystical and full of like crouching tiger, hidden dragon mysticism. And it's like a fish out of water, clash between worlds, but it's Kurt Russell, he's the action star, just like when he was Snake Plissken. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Aliens. Aliens. What can I possibly say to do justice to Aliens? I don't think I can do it justice. James Cameron took Ridley Scott's original film, Alien, which was a slasher movie in space, haunted house in space, and he turned it into this metaphor for the Vietnam War, still in space. It's a high-octane action film. It influenced so many different franchises. Halo, Space Marines, like a lot of different things have their roots here in Alien. It's a survival story. It's a story of this group of soldiers who are there to get this base that had been taken over by the Xenos under control. Spoiler alert, it doesn't go to plan. And then there's also this little girl, Newt. She's been hiding there with these xenomorphs. She's been hiding, and there's this mother-daughter instinct, parental instinct, that Ripley gets when she goes in there because her own daughter had died some years ago because she was put into cryosleep for so long after the events of the original film Alien. There's just so much to talk about and get into with any of these films. One of my favorite franchises of all time. The design of the Xeno and the egg and the ship by H.R. Giger, or Giger, is just amazing. I can't get enough of that stuff. I used to go to college and read books about H.R. Giger endlessly. Alright, next up, Stand By Me. Hey, this is a horror film. Well, it's kind of like a coming-of-age film. I kind of describe it like adventure, but it's not like Toy Story or something, if you know what I mean. Like, there's some horror aspects in there. They're out to find this dead body. These kids are, well, I mean, it's the 80s. They don't have much going on, I guess. And they're like, hey, you guys heard there's a dead body down by the railroad track? And so they go on this adventure on their bikes, totally unsupervised, totally just off on their own, heading down these railway tracks where they learn a lot about each other. They go on a journey. After the journey, they come back. They're not the same kids anymore. They like matured a lot over the course of what they go through. They fall into a lake full of leeches. I remember that scene. Yeah, it's not so much about getting to the dead body or... Well, it is. It's not so much about the dead body itself. It's more just the journey that they're on and how they bond, how their bonds are tested. Yeah. Hey, here's a little bit of trivia. In the game Pokemon Yellow, Red, and Blue, which were, the original Pokemon games, this film is referenced. If you go up to the TV when you first spawn in, you go up to the TV in your house in Pallet Town, it'll say, there's a movie playing about 4 boys walking down a railroad track. That's Stand By Me. That's what they're referencing. Next up, The Fly. Oh, this train has no brakes. Yeah, The Fly. Jeff Goldblum is watching you. But he's also a scientist. He's working on this teleportation machine. Like in Star Trek, they've got transporters. Well, this is in Star Trek. The dude is like trying to figure out the bugs, no pun intended, or was it intended? You'll never know. He gets into his own machine. Little does he know, a tiny little fly buzzed through the door. Well, when he hit the go button, his DNA becomes fused, and you might think, oh cool, he's gonna be like Spider-Man. But no, it's not like Spider-Man at all. The Fly is a horror movie where he mutates into this grotesque monster. The transformation scene is just amazing. It's remarkable. Hey, Static, thank you for the raid. How are you doing? Static, welcome in. Static Electrovox. Hey, what's going on? Thank you for that. Right now, what we're doing, I'm Prince Primeval. What we're doing here is I'm going through my full list of top movies, favorite movies from the 80s. I'm a film buff. I went to film school. I'm into this stuff. So if you are too, maybe you'll take something away from it. Maybe you'll find something cool for yourself to watch too. How was your stream, dude? It's hilarious. Yeah, I remember. How are you on this very fine hot summer day? Hey, Jack in the back. That's a cool name. What's going on? It's scorching over here. I don't know about you guys. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the next movie. Lethal Weapon, Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. What's up? Well, thank you. You see our dinosaur, you hit the follow button. Well, thank you. I am very much into dinosaurs, and I guess you are too, so we're friends now. We're friends now. You all saw that. We're friends now. Me and Jack. It's me and Jack and the dinosaurs. Okay, so up next we got Lethal Weapon, 1987, Mel Gibson, Danny Glover. This is one of the original buddy cop movies. Yeah, so what I like to say about Lethal Weapon is it's very much like the kind of action movie that I wish were still being made today, because a lot of films today are so much about end of the world. The stakes are so fantastically high, whereas this can just be a story about, well, there's some cops, there's like a gang, there's like a prostitution ring, there's like cocaine dealers. it doesn't have to be like off the wall. You know what I mean? It's kind of grounded in reality, but it's got great jokes. It's got great action. It's got great cars. You see a lot of like Chevy Caprices and shit like that. The old dude there, Danny Glover, he loves his revolver, 6-shooter revolvers, and Mel Gibson has got this M9 Beretta. It's like a clash of modern and old. The younger guy there has like nothing left to live for, so he's very, I don't care what happens to me, I'm gonna go catch the bad guys. And Danny Glover's like, I'm about to retire. Stop with all the risk taking, my dude. And then it's just a great adventure. You should go watch Lethal Weapon if you've never seen it. The whole franchise is excellent. Yeah, buddy. Hot weather too here in South Wales. You feel like you're in the oven? I'm in the oven right here too. I'm in the oven. The like, my office is very small, and that doesn't help the situation. I got the window open. There's a little bit of a breeze. You can tell when the breeze blows because it opens and closes the door behind me, and you'll hear it go clunk. Hell yeah, brother, yeah! What's up next? We got next film, Predator. The Predator. No, not The Predator. That was a 2018 film. Let's not talk about that one yet. This is Predator. It's 1987. Arnold is back. He's in the jungle with a team of commandos. The effects team that worked on this film are the same special effects team who did the explosions for the A-Team, the TV show, the A-Team with Hannibal Smith and Face and Howling Mad Murdock and Mr. T. B.A. Baracus. The explosions in that show are amazing and the gunfights are amazing, but nobody ever got hurt in the A-Team because it was made for television. Well, this is an R-rated film, my friends. Predator, you're gonna see guys get blown the fuck up, like, again and again. And so what is the Predator? I'm gonna pretend like you don't know what it is. He is an E.T., but not a friendly E.T., He's not gonna hide in your closet with all your stuffed animals. No, he's hiding in the jungle. He's picking off people. He's hunting for prey, the deadliest prey, human, mankind. That's why he went into this hot zone of soldiers and ends up the toughest soldier for him to face is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, Dutch. Dutch is his character's name. And he's like the ultimate commando, just like in his other film, Commando. So you have this epic clash of the titans. You gotta see Predator. Alright, yeah. Jack says he has decided people's free trial of living has ended. Yes, Predator. The Predator don't give a damn. He'll take your head and place it on his wall like he's a trophy hunter, because that's what he is. Next up, Spaceballs. Hey, you've heard of Star Wars? Spaceballs! It's the spoof movie of Star Wars. You have Darth Helmet, and the dude who's like Han Solo is driving a Winnebago. He's driving like an RV in space. There's a giant vacuum cleaner. There's so much to get into with Spaceballs, but essentially, if you liked Airplane or Naked Gun, you're gonna like watching Spaceballs. Don't get much funnier than this. Next up, another classic here in '87. What a good year. RoboCop. RoboCop. Officer Alex Murphy gets freaking murdered. Murdered really badly by these gangs that live in Detroit City. It's a dystopian future. So, you've heard of like the $6 billion man? Well, RoboCop is a grittier version of that. They have the technology, they rebuild him. But what is he anymore? Is he a man? Is he a robot? Is he a mouse? Definitely he's not a mouse, because he kicks ass. Kind of like Judge Dredd, like we talked about in the 90s movie series. Yeah, he is kicking ass, taking names, but he's got his identity crisis. Who am I? I'm the RoboCop. What does that mean? Did I used to be Alex Murphy? I still kind of am Alex Murphy. He doesn't know, but he's got like, he's just essentially like he's like a torso and a little bit off a brain. It's a weird thing when you really think about it. RoboCop. Hey, RoboCop vs. Terminator was a game that came out back then too. I thought I just might want to mention that since we talked about Terminator earlier. RoboCop has balls of steel. And Duke Nukem say that. Next up, Masters of the Universe. Okay, we talked about Conan the Barbarian already. Well, this is the movie adaptation of He-Man. What is He-Man but a friendlier version of Conan the Barbarian? Yeah, it was a Saturday morning cartoon. It sold a lot of toys. And here's the movie. The movie is nothing like the cartoon. I mean, the Skeletor doesn't really look like Skeletor from the cartoon. It's some pretty good makeup. He-Man himself is passable as He-Man, but they were on a budget, so they didn't go to Eternia. Instead, they bring the characters from Eternia to right here on Earth. So if you want to see He-Man run around a Los Angeles-style city, there you go. Gunsmoke, Return to Dodge. That's something that my grandfather would have liked. I don't remember much about that, so I'm gonna move right on to planes, trains, and automobiles. Now this is my traditional Thanksgiving movie, because the characters in the film are trying to get home for Thanksgiving. At least the one played by Steve Martin is. And Griffith, his big buddy there, he's like always ending up in the passenger seat next to him. First they're on the same airplane, that flight gets canceled, then they try to get this train. They gotta scrounge up some cash to do that. They gotta spend the night in a motel together, which is a hilarious part because of the innuendos. Then the train stops short. They gotta rent a car. They try to go their own separate ways, but they always end up back together. And you know what? Two heads are better than one. They end up helping each other a whole lot too. It's a really like heartfelt movie. Yeah, I'm sure you've seen that. If you haven't, add it to your own list. Cop. This is a movie similar to Dirty Harry. I remember enjoying this quite a lot because I do like the Clint Eastwood Dirty Harry movies where it's like badass, and this is very much in the same vein as those ones. I can't tell you any details about it, but you know, it'll have what you expect. Good car chases, good shootouts. Cop. Young Guns. Now there's a Western I can talk about. Young Guns. Billy the Kid. You've heard of Billy the Kid. I'm sure everyone's heard of Billy the Kid. Well, this is about Billy and his gang. It has a really good cast. It has Charlie Sheen, for whatever that's worth. And yeah, they're outlaws wanted dead or alive, but they don't start that way. In fact, they were deputies first, hunting down other outlaws. And yeah, I'm not going to give too much away about that, but Young Guns, excellent Western movie. If you like Red Dead Redemption, Westerns in general, Young Guns. Dirty Harry needs a bath. Yeah, I'll bet he does. I'll bet he does. Every dirty job that comes along. Alright, coming up next, 18 Again. This is a story like Freaky Friday. Well, essentially that. It's Freaky Friday before Freaky Friday was even a thing. This old dude swaps his body with an 18-year-old kid, and then he's like partying, he's like living it up like it's the Roaring 20s, except it's right now, it's 1988 right now, so yeah, things have changed a little bit, and he encounters all the new trends like karate, and he ends up doing a lot better than the kid version did, but the other dude's in the other body, and he wants to switch back, so there you go. 18 Again. It's a comedy. Rambo free. It's like Rambo 2, but it's Rambo free. Now there you go, Solaris. This is Dirty Harry. This is a Dirty Harry movie. The Deadpool. This is in fact the last of the Dirty Harry films where freaking what's that dude's name who plays Ace Ventura? Famous actor, slipping my tongue. Anyway, it's got Guns N' Roses, it's got car chases, he's got the 44 Magnum, and Dirty Harry himself is aging in this one. He's the old version of Dirty Harry, and he's still kicking ass. He's still gotta like take elevators, climb on the roof of it. There's a remote control car with a bomb strapped to it. I think Grand Theft Auto Vice City did something like that too. And they got a lot of their ideas from movies like this. Jim Carrey, thank you guys. Yeah, Jim Carrey lip syncs to Guns N' Roses in this film. It's a really short-lived part. He doesn't like star in it, but if you want to see Jim Carrey singing along and acting all crazy like a crazy actor smacked out on drugs, that takes place in this movie. Moving on, The Blob. Now, The Blob is a remake of a 1950s black and white B movie. It's the modern version. The Blob is this like, well, it's The Blob. What else do you want to say? It's a freaking amorphous blob. It's like a big ball of jello. It rolls through the streets, it eats everything it sees, and it gets bigger. It'll eat people and get bigger. So at the end, you've got this giant thing that's just like, well, now it's freaking big. How are we gonna stop it now? Spoiler alert. Actually, I'm not gonna spoil it. You guys are gonna have to see how they stop it for yourself. Next up, The Beast of War. This is a tank movie. If you like tanks, if you like War Thunder, if you like games like that where you drive a tank, this is about a Soviet tank, T-55, that got separated from its platoon in the middle of Afghanistan, and it has to survive. It's essentially a survival story because, you know, tanks don't really do well without the rest of the military and the logistics and the mechanics, everyone else who supports the vehicle. So it's going on its solo adventure through Afghanistan, trying to survive. The Mujahideen are attacking and meeting villagers, meeting locals. Beast of War. I like it. Spellbinder. I can't talk about that. I don't think I've seen that myself. It's on my list. Some of these things are on my list, but I haven't actually seen them. Mystic Pizza. That's about like this chick who gets knocked up by this dude when she's like a babysitter for his kid. And it's like a romantic coming of age film about girls. Yeah, I've actually seen it. I actually have sat and watched that. You might be surprised, but I did. Child's Play, the original Child's Play. based loosely on the Twilight Zone episode Living Doll. This doll gets voodoo possessed by a serial killer, and it becomes Chucky. They all think Chucky is just a doll, but then it starts talking, it starts moving. There's not even batteries in there. There's no batteries. It's a horror movie, but it's a lot of fun at the same time. I love the scene where Chucky first comes to life and he's like, "You stupid bitch, you fucking whore, I'll teach you to fuck with me." Chucky is just a badass, like, cause his character isn't just killer or monster. It's like a human. It's a dude. There's a dude in there, and the dude's like, "I'm gonna watch TV," shit like that, you know? It's got a personality. Oh, hey Jack. Good day, I'm Jack, aka Michael, British-born South African living in Australia. I love military, dinos, dragons, snakes, and anything dangerous. I suffer from undiagnosed autism and ADHD, but too bad, too sad. Hey, I'm there with you, dude, as well. I'm not really being diagnosed. I did like this test, cognitive intelligence test, where they basically identified that I'm neurodivergent. I think it's called neurodivergency, where you've got some traits of ADHD, some traits of autism, but you're neither one nor the other. You're somewhere in the middle. Hey, that's me too. Hey, good to meet you, Jack. Yeah, we're gonna get along. You like a lot of the same stuff I do. Yeah. Oh, hey, the ads are gonna start soon. I'm gonna snooze that ad so we can keep going here. Okay, next up, Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad. What is Police Squad? Well, that was this little TV show that didn't really take off. I think they only did like one season, but they went out with a bang. Did they ever go out with a bang? Because they licensed a movie. Leslie Nielsen is Frank Drebin. He's just like the funniest detective ever because everything he does is a catastrophe. There's gags going on throughout this whole film. The jokes never end. It's one after the other. You'll never laugh so hard in your life. Actually, speaking about today, modern times, they're bringing back the Naked Gun right now. Leslie Nielsen. Yeah, so if you're interested in what that is or want to see the original first, there it is. 1988. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. I'm gonna have to skip over that one because I don't remember much about it. Mr. Vampire Saga Part 4. Okay, here we go. This is a kung fu movie where there's a Taoist and a Buddhist, kind of their neighbors. They don't really like each other, but they got bigger problems when this vampire was coming through town. And it's not like a vampire like Bela Lugosi Dracula. It's a kung fu vampire. There's immense kung fu action in this film. It's politically incorrect to say... Oh, to say it like that way. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, man, there's too much political correctness these days, if you ask me. It limits people so much. Like, I got in fucking trouble for saying one lady had nice afro. I was like, yo, nice afro, looks like the 70s, and I had to be like taken away to a room where I got like told that's a microaggression, and I'm like, what? I was like, that's a compliment what I just said there. What the fuck? The world is stupid these days, my dudes. Next up, Renegades. Hey, there's that dude from Young Guns in this movie. I don't know if I've actually seen that, but it looks like something I would like. Action USA. Is that something that Red Letter Media talked about? Lethal Weapon 2. Riggs and Murphy. Riggs are back. Hey, speaking about South Africans, this is the one where the South Africans are the bad guys. The South Africans move to Los Angeles and they're claiming diplomatic immunity while they do all kinds of like criminal cocaine drug running things under the police's radar. And even when they do get busted, they're just like diplomatic immunity and they get away with it until Mel Gibson and Danny Glover show up and they're like, I don't give a fuck and we're going to shoot you anyway. Good movie. All the Lethal Weapons, good movies. Turner and Hooch. You might have heard Homer Simpson talk about this one. Like, Turner and Hooch. It's dude and his dog. And they're cops. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk too much about that. I don't even know what to say about it. Yeah, I'm just gonna move on. Turner and Hooch. There's a quote you like, it says, there will come a day where stupidity will reach such a level that people will be banned from thinking as to not offend the imbeciles. The imbeciles. Oh, I get it. Yeah. It's spelled wrong on purpose, I get it. I almost corrected it and I was like, no, wait a minute. Yeah, that's the thing. You know what I like to say? I like to say common sense isn't so common. Right? Okay, next movie, Communion. If you like things like the X-Files, you're gonna like Communion. It's got this creepy gray alien. It's all about being abducted and what the experience actually is like when you're abducted. It's based on a book. I'm pretty sure this is based on a book. I haven't read the book. But it's a creepy film, especially when the alien just kind of like sticks its head in your room and you're like, ugh, fuck you doing here? And then nobody is gonna believe you that you got abducted or encountered these things because they all gonna say you're crazy. Of course they are. Hey, he's not crazy. Everyone else is crazy. Next up, Big Man on Campus. Yeah, this dude is like caveman slash... yeah, I don't look like a caveman, essentially. And he lives in the bell tower in this university. And this students get assigned to befriend him and kind of make him into an ideal citizen or an ideal student. But, you know, his heart's in the right place. He doesn't always get things what are going on or how to act. But his heart's in the right place. Big Man on Campus. Crack a beer when you watch that one. Paul, yeah, it does look like Paul. Paul's the funny version. And next up, Tremors. But we've already talked about Tremors because that's the beginning of the 1990s. So we're done. That's the end of my 1980s movie list. So, with that said, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and hopefully you came away with something that you can go and put on your own TV and have a good time. And if there's anything that you feel like I missed, please leave a comment or write it in the chat. Let me know. In fact, I think only one Dirty Harry movie was on here, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say I like all of them. It's not a complete list. It's something I'm still working on. I'll say that. But yeah, definitely, this is a new project, Jack, that I'm doing here, because usually I just play games. I'm a variety streamer. that's what you're gonna be seeing me doing most of the time, is video games, like our good friend Solaris. And he does essentially the same thing as me. We both do Let's Playing. And to anyone else out there who has any kind of taste or like movies, music, games, whatever it is, and if you feel a bit shy, like you don't want to put yourself on camera, you don't want to put yourself in front of the microphone, but you know stuff, right? Like everybody knows something. Maybe your specialty is marine life. It could be anything. Maybe you know like how to make the best tacos. Just go ahead and make the video. Don't let being shy hold you back. I really want to point that out because at first I was shy too. Actually, doing this kind of stuff helps me with being more confident, like out in the real world. Definitely, for sure. Alright. Oh, hey, it's pretty late where you are? No problem. You heard War Thunder? I used to play a lot of War Thunder. Not so much anymore because my hours on it got too high. I was like, I don't have time for that anymore. But yeah, if I look at Steam over here, that's how many hours I have. Too many. Way too many. So I'm playing different stuff. I don't usually play multiplayer games that much anymore, but I might get into a few of them, like Battlefield, possibly. I don't know. I'm still thinking. Anyway, I'm probably going to be back later today, because it's not that late for me right now. But I'm going to go ahead and take a break, so I'd like to thank you again for following. I'd like to thank you for watching and sticking around and hanging out. I hope you have a good rest of your evening or night. And do stick around, I'll find somebody to raid. Let's keep the raid train going, shall we? Okay, I'm just checking my follower list. We got someone good here. Okay, I'm gonna send you guys over to our good friend, Big Boss Incarnate, who plays a lot of Resident Evil games. Hey Jack, welcome back. We're about to raid out. I'm gonna send you over to my good friend Big Boss Incarnate. But I'd like to thank you for hanging out, and I will see you next time. I'll be back a little bit later. I'll definitely be back tomorrow, play some video games. Have a good night.
Klingt gut. Klingt gut. $1998, 1998. I love curry. Man, I had like an amazing Japanese yesterday. We went to this Japanese place and I had udon noodles with like chicken. And I had like this very fluffy egg as well. God, I don't know how they do it, but it's amazing. Holy moly. Udon noodles. They're like these big, thick noodles, but damn, they're good. I think I've only ever had them once before. And both times were good.